Guys, it's Rachel Cannella here with my book introduction, The Power to be Extraordinary, and I am going to leave off where I started in the first video. This is part 2. The first video, I gave you my first introduction to the book, and I also have a second introduction which talks more about me and what I went through, my personal journey, and I think that a lot of people would enjoy it, as well as the first 3 chapters I will be giving also. This video, however, will just contain the second introduction, and the next video will have the chapters 1, 2, and 3, possibly. So, I will go ahead and start, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy this sneak peek. Thanks for tuning in. The Awakening. In the 21st century, the world is experiencing difficult times. No matter how one chooses to look at things, or how much of a positive attitude one has, there is still a great deal of uncertainty towards regards of the future. Many of those who have taken the time to investigate and who are aware of such things see the situation as hopeless and may even feel powerless. Yet the reality is that people aren't powerless at all. The opposite is true. The Awakening by Max Egan. That is one of my favorite quotes. It's awesome. It's a great movie. If you would like to check it out, I put it in my book for a reason. It's by Max Egan. It's called The Awakening. My Journey to Personal Utopia. My name is Rachel, and I am what you would call a self-made extraordinaire. I was born in 1988 to a mother named Stephanie Jones and a father named Ray Papillon. 2 years later, my dad, our friend, and I got into a deadly car accident. We smashed into another car head-on at high speeds, and my father and his friend died on impact. I survived, and so did the driver from the other vehicle. I suffered from 2 broken legs, one of which had 2 complete fractures, and a broken arm. I recovered rapidly and proved doctors wrong, as I was able to learn how to walk again. I had no setbacks from the broken bones. And a couple of months before my 6th birthday, my parents were married, and my new father adopted me. His name is Donnie Smith, and is now a gunny in the Marine Corps. My parents raised me to be independent and brave. When I was young, I was a tomboy because I loved science, being rough, tough, and dirty. I was very smart, curious, and seriously independent. I loved to learn and always knew I would grow up to be some kind of doctor and save the world. Isn't it funny how we all seem to have a similar dream when we are little? In middle school, I realized that I was definitely different than most kids. I was sent to the office for talking a lot. The talking was due to boredom, and I was put into detention often for avidly voicing my opinion on the topics we were studying in class. After I was put into detention enough for what they called disrupting class by questioning authority, it dawned on me that rather than know the information, I was to accept what was taught and memorize it, not to understand it. My score on the test was what was important. For me, high school was a freaking joke as well. 4 more years of accepting, memorizing, and regurgitating was almost enough to drive me insane. It wasn't that I didn't love to learn. I just hated the type of learning that public schools force on you. It didn't help me. It hindered me. So I thought that going to college would be different. Which, don't get me wrong, it is. And that is what I shot for. I got married during my freshman year of college and had a divorce a year and a half later. My ex and I were completely different people. He was an introvert, and I am obviously an extrovert. So we clashed a lot, and to blame on being young, just couldn't handle it. During the divorce, I took a break from nursing school, and during that break, I realized I didn't want to be a nurse because they did not get the pay they deserved. On my break, I traveled the country on my own. During my travel, I met my now husband Tim, a United States Marine like my father. He is an amazing man and has helped me become extraordinary. A couple of months before I met my husband, I fell ill to recurring ovarian and Bartholin cysts. The pain from these cysts was so excruciating that I couldn't go to work or even get out of bed at times. Sometimes I even needed help taking a shower. I would go to the emergency room every couple of weeks to get them removed, and they continued to come back this way for an entire 2 years. I tried everything from painkillers, very toxic antibiotics, and wishful thinking. None of this even worked. I got tired of going to the emergency room and being in constant pain, and so I decided to try and find something else that could heal cysts other than meds, and that's when I found turmeric. If most of you don't know me, turmeric, I'm a huge fan of it, and it has changed my life and has opened me up to a whole new world of possibilities. For those of you who don't know, turmeric is one of the most potent natural cures for cancer and a lot of diseases. It naturally originates from India and is the root of the plant curcumin. When I learned that this herb could cure cancer and was available to be purchased at the local grocery store, I immediately thought about many people I had met who had to go through painful chemotherapy and radiation treatment for their cancers. I was pissed beyond measures because I thought if these people would have been given turmeric as an option for treatment or some other form of natural health care, they could have avoided all of the painful things they had went through. I understand not everyone can benefit from herbs, but most people can. I mean, come on. I suffered for 2 years freaking straight with cysts the size of a golf balls, and not one doctor or nurse ever mentioned to me that there were natural cures such as turmeric that could cure my cysts. What the hell? And then I got even more fired up when I started to question how many other people had experienced the same failure with treatments from doctors when there were plenty natural remedies available that would have not only treated the diseases but could cure them. That's not what you're allowed to say. You can't say something can cure cancer, which is insane. That it does cure it, and you're not allowed to say it. But how many people have died from this? I mean, seriously, why were the doctors not telling people about these other remedies? After tedious research, I came to the conclusion that either most doctors are not taught about natural remedies in medical school, or they make money from drug companies to prescribe the drugs they create rather than prescribing natural remedies. I was so disturbed by my finding that it compelled me to go back to school, and this time for psychology. I wanted to study natural ways to cure the mind and body of illness. I'm going to stop there because this video is getting a little bit too long, but I'm going to continue in the next video. So we'll go on to part 3, and hope you are enjoying this so far.